Okay, so I'm sure a lot of you have heard about Mr. Wise Guy's Majora's Mask PC port, but let's talk about what's so awesome about this. First, I'm just going to explain what it is. So, it's just plug and play, you know, you drop the damn ROM in there, and it gives you a PC version of the game. The launcher is going to have support for Ocarina of Time soon, but right now it's just Majora's Mask. It adds a bunch of these cool features, you know, controller mapping, widescreen support, unlocked frame rates, a bunch of really cool shit. And if you're familiar with the Zelda games on the N64, you know unlocked frame rates is huge for those games, okay? 20 frames a second is vomit-inducing on the N64. It is horrible. So, yeah, it's pretty nice to have. And the coolest thing about this is that none of the game's code is changed, because this doesn't dump the source code of the game. You're not fucking with the source code, okay? So this is 100% preserved from a cartridge, right? It also means that these aren't as customizable as something like Ship of Harkinian or the Mario 64 PC port, but it is still really, really, really cool, okay? And it adds just enough features for it to be 100% better than something like an emulator. They've added stuff like gyro aim, auto-saving, a lot of cool shit. The load times are much improved, obviously, since you're not loading from a real N64. You're not emulating an N64. You're using your actual computer, you know? You're using that processing power. This build of the game is targeting Windows and Linux. So for you Mac users, you have to find a workaround. I'm sure Wine or something will have you just fine. But this isn't necessarily a decompilation project. It is much closer to an emulator in that way, where it's trying to emulate certain parts of the N64, but it is a PC port. This is not an emulator, 100%. Gotta clarify. And yes, this is 100% legal. It's just like Ship of Harkinian in that way, where it's completely clean room. It's not using any of Nintendo's code. This is 100% legal. So all of you Nintendo meat writers are gonna have to shoo. And yes, Linux support means Steam Deck, so if you're a Steam Deck owner, this is going to work really great. And the gyro works just fine. I have not given it a shot yet, but maybe I'll make a video showing off how it is. And I think this project is really, really awesome, because for what it implies in the future, what we're going to have next. How are we going to replace emulators? Because emulators are inherently flawed in nature, that we're still trying to pretend to be these really, really old pieces of hardware, stuff like the N64, because you emulate the flaws that hardware had. But if we can just get the game, if we get the code for that game and we can run it on modern PCs, we can do whatever the fuck we want, right? And that's more similar to decompilation, but this still lets us do whatever we want. Obviously, look at this frame rate, look at this widescreen, right? Look at the gyro support. It's really, really nice. It's great for the end user. It's definitely the best way to play these games casually. But what does it mean for the future? Well, personally, I think that at some point this will work towards being something that we can do with GameCube ISOs, Wii ISOs, maybe even the Wii U, okay? If we can get these games ported to PC, we can do whatever we want with them. Run them a lot more efficiently, because emulators are inherently inefficient, because you're emulating a CPU with a CPU. That's inefficient, just in nature. On top of that, there's stuff that hasn't been added yet to this Majora's Mask PC port that is a planned feature in the future. Like I was saying before, they're going to have Ocarina of Time in this launcher, because this is a launcher, okay? You can change your controls and whatnot, and they plan to do a similar thing like Banjo-Kazooie, with Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, have them in the same launcher, where you just download one and you put both the ROMs in, and you have a definitive like Banjo-Kazooie collection. Pretty badass, I think, okay? That's pretty nice. They plan to add support for ray tracing, which is really cool for motherfuckers with the beefy computers, okay? I have an RTX 4070 in mine, and I would love to play this fucking wave race demo that they got going on with ray tracing. This looks incredible. This is so badass. I would love to play this myself. They plan to add model replacements, and if you've seen Narrow's video trying to do that for Majora's Mask, you would know that the N64 emulators do not like model replacements at all. They blow up whenever you try to do that. So this will be really cool. If you've seen the Render 96 mod for Mario 64 PC port, then you will know how awesome this stuff can look. It is insane. It looks like a commercial. It doesn't look real, but it's real. This is running on somebody's computer. You can play this yourself. And I think we'll have something similar for Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. And now this is most similar actually to the RTX remix. If you've played Portal RTX, that game replaces some models, and it does it in an overlay. It doesn't actually change the original Portal. That's why you can just toggle it on and off like that without a ton of lag or anything, because essentially it's just an overlay. So yeah, I think given time, we're gonna have something really, really, really beautiful sprout out of this. We're gonna have the coolest shit. We might have the end of emulators. Some of these emulators have a very important purpose, especially right now. You still need emulators right now if you are concerned about game preservation. But I think given time, if people start doing this same process, but for other systems, like I think the closest on the horizon is probably the PlayStation 1, because those games are in desperate need of PC ports, a lot of them. And I think people are going to start working towards making this same process work on other consoles. So for right now, what should you do? Well, one, you need to go play Majora's Mask PC port. You go play it right now, okay? It's really, really fucking cool, okay? Wise guy, fucking genius for getting this all up and running. You should, 2, go watch Narrow's video to get some other information. And 3, you should comment what you think. If you disagree with me, if you think I'm an idiot, I would like to hear. If you think I'm forgetting something, I would like to hear. And if you just like the video, I would like to hear, okay? Let me know anything, okay? And if you want to see more videos from me in the future, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you're really interested and you want to see behind the scenes stuff, you want to join a custom Discord for Patreons only, if you want to request video topics, then go ahead and subscribe to the Patreon down below. I just opened it. There's nobody else on it right now. You can be one of the first in. At the end of these videos, I will put the members here, but obviously there's no members yet. I haven't announced it. But if you want, check it out. It's only $5 a month. I'm not going to add any other higher tiers than that. I don't expect you guys to spend a lot of money. I mean, it's not necessary at all. If you just enjoy the videos, that'll benefit me more. Really, what is more beneficial is if you send these videos to your friends. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want, check out my previous videos. They're pretty good. See ya.